celebration of all the work of the entire FIRST community, the mentors, the parents, the teachers, the sponsors, the universities, you name it. We are now a movement around this country and around the world. And I think it's worth reflecting on where we've been and where we've come to. A few minutes ago, you saw the governor of this state, Chris Sununu, welcome everybody here. 25 years ago, in a high school gym, a different Sununu. The former governor, John Sununu, Chris's dad, was here to welcome the 23 teams that participated in our first event. Now we've got something like 55,000 teams. We've got 200 universities. We gave out $50 million in scholarships because those universities are desperate to get the best of the best. You just saw General Harensack from the United States Air Force recruiting all the other national organizations whose job it is to protect this country are recruiting. FIRST is high on the radar of every organization that wants the best of the best for the next generation. As I've said for 25 years, look at our name: for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. I think the FIRST community meets that goal. The one thing that always surprises me at every FIRST event is that most of the people that get involved think it was primarily our mission to inspire kids, particularly women and minorities, and a whole group of people in this country and around the world that for various reasons never thought about science, technology, engineering, becoming an inventor and innovator. We started this program thinking it's the mission of the adults and the mentors and the political leaders to inspire these kids. And I think to some extent we've proven that it works and it changes their attitude. But I think what I never expected when we started was that the real inspiration goes, if not the other way, at least mutually. I think the reason we've kept so many people involved and engaged as we've grown year after year is because it's the students, in fact, that inspire everybody else. It's the students, through their demonstration that they get it, gracious professionalism, that it's a cooperation, that we're all going to build and learn and succeed together. It's the students that are inspiring everybody that ever comes in contact with FIRST. And since the students are why we do it, and since the students are the biggest group, that's a pretty good thing. So now, after 25 years, to have the first ever postseason event of a championship in St. Louis and a championship in Houston, to have this essentially first Super Bowl festival here back in New Hampshire is fantastic. And I wish everybody the best of luck. I hope you'll all be super examples of the fact that we all know most of the robots don't win, but all the students do. I'll ask you, as I always do, to do your homework. The rest of the country and the rest of the world has to get involved in FIRST. They can't be cheated out of what you've had the opportunity to do. The kids around this country need to be involved, and the country desperately needs a generation of world-class problem solvers and leaders. So your homework, as always, now that we have media attention, show them how fantastic FIRST is. And when you all get home, make sure you get the rest of your community involved. You heard our governor say this will be the first state that makes FIRST available to every student. Our mayor has already done that in the city of Manchester, the home and the birthplace of FIRST. Let's make that a national commitment. Congratulations, everybody. Let's have a great festival.
Thank you so much, Dean, for those wonderful and inspirational words. As somebody who competed in FIRST when I was in high school, it's always great to hear the challenge that he puts us to with his homework and his inspiring words to make sure that we go out and spread the message of FIRST.
I love how he talks about, too, that idea of that we're here celebrating. We're competing, but we're competing because we're celebrating each other's accomplishments. It's that idea of cooperation. That must be really meaningful to you as an alum.
It's one of the greatest things to be able to continue that spirit of cooperation, you know, going throughout my life and doing everything that I do, carrying on those spirits of gracious professionalism, cooperation, and inspiring others to do this. And you know what? I think we're at the point where we need to start these matches.
Let's do it. Let's go right over to David Price at the First Tech Challenge desk.
Good morning, Festival of Champions. Welcome. Here we are in the Southern New Hampshire University Arena in Manchester, beautiful Manchester, only about 1,000 yards away from the world headquarters of FIRST. And it's a pleasure standing right next to me, someone I've known for a few years. She's been in FTC for 8 years, started out in FTC, went to FLL, back to FTC, and the 2015 Dean's List Award winner, Sarah Fogwell. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I love being at FIRST Robotics competitions, and I actually had the pleasure of watching the St. Louis Alliance win in St. Louis, so I'm excited to see what Houston has in store for us.
We've heard great stories out of Houston. So let's welcome right now our referees.
All right, our referees, led by head ref Mark Edelman, and is assisted by Elise Dietrich and Jacob Huang.
All right. And now, if we can have, let's hear a little bit of a story about how the Red Alliance got here all the way from Houston.
Let's hear it for Red Net Robotics, Rise of Hespesis, and wait for it, 8651.
Honestly, I have so many different emotions, I can't pick one. Happy.
Incredible.
Excited.
Amazing.
Bittersweet. Excited.
Amazing.
Happy.
Really, really great.
Just a ton of emotions.
We have never come this far.
We didn't even expect to make it even maybe in the semifinals.
We honestly can't believe that we just made it.
This wasn't even in our wildest dreams.
If I fall out, someone pick me up, please.
Everything's pretty great about FIRST.
I get to learn so many different things over the years. Even though I'm mostly a builder, sometimes I look at their programming and I learn so many different skills.
Not only do we get to build great robots, but we get to make new friends.
Meeting new teams and meeting different teams from different countries.
I love my teammates. We're one big happy family.
It's just an amazing experience here. There's nothing like it.
We've spent over 300 hours in meeting hours working on this robot.
A lot of hard work and dedication. It definitely was nerve-wracking.
It was stressful.
We're just able to kind of work through all those nerves and get the job done.
I mean, winning is great, but knowing that we did well is definitely better.
I think it was really intense working with the Rednecks and wait for it. It was just really awesome. They're such great teams.
Basically, at the beginning of the season, we just wanted to score wiffle balls, and we decided that somebody else would cap for us, and it worked out that way. Mostly it's just about like teamwork.
I think we've all learned a lot from this week that, you know, anything is possible.
It is a game changer, a life changer for many people, including me. I'm just ecstatic, especially because it's my senior year. I couldn't ask for a better senior year.
I think we'll take these memories and cherish them forever.
I had no idea what I was going to do, and the fact that this organization has really changed my life is what makes it completely different.
All right, Sarah. Let's welcome on the Red Alliance from the Houston Championship, team number 724.
And having never scored under 200 points in Houston out of Sun River, Montana, Redneck Robotics.
And the first of their alliance partners, let's welcome team number 4216.
The winning alliance at West Supers from San Diego, California, Rise of Hephaestus.
And finally, their other alliance partner, let's welcome the powerhouse 8651.
Out of Pearl, Mississippi, it's Wait For It.
Great job. Let's welcome our Red Alliance. And now, Sarah, let's see how the Blue Alliance got here from St. Louis.
I'm so excited. It's been an amazing experience.
It feels amazing.
I'm still processing it. I'm so excited.
I'm so grateful. Once in a lifetime opportunity.
This experience means a lot to us because we've been working very hard to get to this place.
8 years now on the same team.
I've been in first for over half my life. It's everything I've known.
We have 2,300 hours this year, so it's hugely important. We spend all of our time on this. It's what we do.
It's been meant everything to me.
We have teams meeting from different cultures and all over the world.
We've developed really good relationships with these teams.
This is a competition, it's what it's labeled, but really that's not what it is. This is a collaboration between all the different teams here.
We really like the friendly environment that First has everywhere, and how even when we're competing with other teams, we can still be friends with them and still get to know them.
We've been working with the teams throughout this area. We've been working with teams from the other division. We were working with all the teams that were against us. I know each peer person on the other teams individually.
And just getting to see everyone unite together in the name of robotics is great.
We're all cheering each other on at the same time. It's so much fun and you learn a ton.
Our coaches really help us throughout the year.
Our coach Jack, he's been our coach for 8 years now.
They help guide us and show us what to do if we're struggling with something.
Thank you to our sponsors and thank you to everyone who made this possible. So without them, our robot, it would not be possible. It wouldn't be possible to have what we came here with.
I think this experience is like mind-blowing, like coming here for the first time and competing with all our effort, with all our heart. You know, it's just a great experience.
Manchester, here we come!
Boy, that was incredible. All right, Sarah, let's welcome on the Blue Alliance. Let's welcome first team number 8686.
Not only the captain, but they were the World Inspire finalists this year out of Shoreview, Minnesota's height differential.
And the first of their alliance partners, let's welcome team number 6929.
The winning alliance at North Supers out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, Data Force.
And finally, the second of their alliance partners, let's welcome team number 5916.
The winning alliance 2 times in a row in St. Louis from Earlsville, Maryland, the Bobots.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so here we have our 6 powerful teams on our FTC field. And in the spirit of gracious professionalism, we will begin these matches with a handshake. So teams, if you could face each other, cross paths, handshake, high five, give each other a gracious professional hug, and let's do that right now. Sarah, I am getting ready for some powerful matches. This could go to 5 matches if we have some ties. All the teams doing their high fives right now as they step into their Blue Alliance box and their Red Alliance box. The robots were initialized before the match began. We'll give them another second. We have an FTA on the field making sure everything is perfect with the robots. And I'm going to wait for a thumbs up in just a minute. Red Alliance on the bleachers on the side. Let's hear from you guys. All right, Blue Alliance, let's hear how powerful you are. And we have a full house here at the SNHU Arena here in Manchester, New Hampshire. And you guys ready to have some fun, am I right? All right, just another second or so. And we'll get our thumbs up from Mr. Coleman, who's one of our volunteers of the year at one of our world championships in the last just a couple of years. All right. It looks like we have a thumbs up all around. As soon as we get a thumbs up, we'll have our referees randomize the beacons that are in the foreground of the field. Remember, the referees will randomize those beacons. They'll come up either blue or red. And the robots will drive towards those beacons to get some points in our initial autonomous mode. Thumbs up all around. All right, Red Alliance, I want to wish you the best of luck at our Festival of Champions. And I'm going to say it now. Red Alliance, ready. Blue Alliance, ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, right off the bat, Bobots, they're shooting 2 of their wiffle balls up, not getting into that center vortex, but they're going to line themselves up for those side beacons. Their line's doing the same, 86-86 making their way. 724 already has one of their beacons for the Red Alliance, and now they have both. Bobots seem to be on the other side. Redneck Robotics, 1, 2, 3. 3 wiffle balls going into that center vortex. Their cat ball being pushed off. Both cat balls are off. All right, at the end of that autonomous mode, we have 2 blue beacons and 2 for the red. Both cat balls are off.
Boy, you know, here we are in what could be considered a postseason event, and these teams are still heavily choreographed. Every single 3 or 4 second period in that autonomous mode, the robots knew exactly what to do. And look how amazing this is. We've got 2 red beacons, 2 blue beacons.
Looks like they didn't waste any time on that offseason. Now that they know that they're alliance, they know exactly how to work together.
I think they just kept practicing as soon as the World Championships were over.
What else are you going to do with 3 months?
Play with their robots. We have Mark Edelman. He's our head referee. He's just checking with his referees right now to make sure that he has all the correct scores. One of our referees makes sure the robot is off that red ramp over on the side of the field. All right, we have a thumbs up all around. Drivers, grab your controllers. All right, and here we go for our human-powered mode. Red Alliance, ready. Blue Alliance, ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
All 4 robots wasting no time. The Red Alliance, Redneck Robotics, they're going 1, 2 particles are in their possession. They're making their way, lining themselves up. 1, 2 particles. They're correctly in. 86-86, they have particles in their possession as well. They're trying to line themselves up. Redneck Robotics, 1, 2, 3. 3 particles going into the center vortex. Redneck wasting no time, picking up another 2 particles. Bobots on the other corner, they have some blue particles in their possession as well. They're going to pick up another, wasting no time. One particle going in for the blue, the red one just shooting out of that center vortex. Right now we have 3 beacons for the blue, 1 for the red. 86-51 seems to be making their way over, trying to get those all to be red for those last minute points.
Boy, listen to how quiet these robots are. Those engines are smooth.
1, 2, 1, 2, going in for both alliances. Those particles going into the center vortex. Redneck making their way. They got some defense from the Blue Alliance. 1, 2 particles going in successfully. 59-16 in the front corner. They're going to line themselves up while Redneck successfully shoots another 3 particles into that center vortex. All right, 30 seconds. This is endgame. As you see, Red Alliance wasting no time, picking up their cat ball. They're going to line themselves up. The beacons, there are still 3 blue and 1 for the red. Bobots picking up their cat ball as well.
Oh,
the Red Alliance is successfully capped. We got another 12 seconds on the clock. Blue Alliance capping theirs. Now it is a battle for the beacons. Battle for the beacons for those last second points. We got 5 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1.
Wow. So absolutely no wonder. Here we are. It's their first match of the day, and already it's acting like it's a final championship round. I am dying to see how these points come out. Sarah, what do you think?
I gotta say, Houston really impressed me. Not that I had doubts about them, but Redneck Robotics, they had a consistent shooter getting those particles in. I mean, 3 at a time, and consistently just going right after it. Their alliance was doing defense on the Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance, even them, for St. Louis, they were successfully getting those particles up as well.
I absolutely love it. I got to tell you, a funny comment, 59-16. when learning a little bit about their background. They used a Chobani yogurt cup to shoot their particles, and did you hear this story? They ended up going to a 3D printer, and they printed out a nice sophisticated, when owner realized that the actual Chobani cup was the way to shoot their particles. So what do? They used the Chobani cup, and they named their robot Chobani.
Hey, whatever
Absolutely,
works.
absolutely impressive match. Well, listen, let's hear about some of our team stories that came out of Houston right now.
We are Team 724 Redneck Robotics. This year, we competed in 2 qualifying tournaments in our home state of Montana. We then competed at Montana State. We ended the tournament as the captain of the winning alliance, sealing our ticket to West Super Regionals in Tacoma, Washington. Before Super Regionals, we participated in Idaho State, where we also were captains of the winning alliance. With an undefeated record, we entered West Super Regionals in the Cascade Division. Ranked 7th, we aligned with our friends 4216 Rise of Hephaestus to be first pick of winning alliance, giving us a ticket to the World Championship in Houston, Texas. In Houston, we ranked 2nd in qualifying matches and aligned with our Super Regional captain, Rise of Hephaestus, and wait for it, to go head-to-head in semifinals and finals matches. Going to 3 matches in both division finals and world finals, we came out on top as Houston champions.
It's really great to be at a robotics competition because you meet a lot of people with the same interests as you.
Meeting all the new teams that we met in LA and at Worlds that we haven't seen before, because it's really great to like see and meet all these new people that share the same passion that you do about robotics in person. Finally, someone else understood how much we loved it.
The very positive atmosphere it gives off. It makes it feel less like a competition and more just like an experience that everyone should enjoy. And it really makes it better for everyone rather than just the people who win.
So when I went to Worlds and everyone's helping each other, everyone's collaborating, you're forced to be with the totally new teams in all these rounds who you want to succeed. And there's just so much energy and positivity everywhere. And it was really amazing to me.
All right, we're ready for our scores for that first Tech Challenge Championship match. Let's put the score up on the big screen. And there you have it. Red Alliance wins 265 points, and Blue Alliance 140 points. Zach and Anna, I hope you guys brought some job applications. Back to you.
Looks like we're really in for a challenge with these matches that are coming up, but I want to welcome to the stage Isla from Team 3491 Fix-It Robotics.
Thank you very much.
So I see on your badge here that you have an awesome little tag that says Inspire. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, so our team won the Inspire Award at the Houston Championships this year.
Fantastic. So what is an Inspire team? What does that represent to the community?
The Inspire Award teams are the teams who do a very good job promoting FIRST and who inspire other teams.
That's actually genuinely fantastic. You're helping spread the message of FIRST everywhere you go. So I heard a little story about a competition in Beijing in the case of a missing robot. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so our team went to Beijing, China for the World Robotics Open competition. And the goal here was to promote robotics there. One of the team's robots, the Bears, their robot didn't actually show up. It got lost somehow, we don't know, quite on the plane or something. And so late at night, a whole bunch of teams got all their spare parts and brought them together, and there were a few different teams all helping to build them a new robot so they could compete the next morning.
Wow. Gracious professionalism in action, huh?
It's just one of the many values of FIRST, and you're doing a great job spreading those. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Isla. And guys, now it's time to head back over to David at the FIRST Tech Challenge desk.
All right, we're glad to be here. So remember, there's 3 teams on each alliance, but there's only 2 teams on the field. So in the first 3 matches, all 3 teams have to have competed. So I think we've done a swap out at some point. But let's right now get ready for this next match. I'm waiting for our FTA to give a thumbs up all around. Looks like the robots are initialized. And I see a couple small adjustments on a robot, just identifying the colored flag on top of the bot. And looks like the referees are randomizing the beacons. All right, I've got a thumbs up all around. This is our 30-second autonomous mode. And Red Alliance ready, Blue Alliance ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, one particle already shot into that center vortex for the Red Alliance. 69-29, they're lining themselves up. They seem to be trying to make their way for the beacon. Seems that Blue Alliance, they're trying to make their way into the front. They already have their cap ball off the base. Red Alliance is sitting on the base and they have their cap ball off. All right, that's the end of the autonomous mode. We have one red beacon and we have both cap balls off the base.
Well, that was a slow-moving round, but again, we've got some beacons that have been color-coded by the robots. I just love this robot on the Blue Alliance. I think it's, is it 86?
86-86?
86-86. They're using a blue paint roller to shoot their particles. Heavy mat, by the way, so they can get a good trajectory out of that particle. And in the last round, they shot pretty well up into that high goal. We have our head referee on the field right now. He's getting the last-minute scores, but he's talking to 69-29, just double-checking where the placement of the robot is on the field. And now the FTA heads up onto the field just to do a small adjustment. The pole that supports the high goal just got a little bit dislodged, and they put it back in place. It's always the students that catch that type of stuff. Their eyes are so much sharper than the volunteers with years of experience. Thumbs up all around. All right, 30-second autonomous mode. Red Alliance ready. Blue Alliance ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, there's no waiting for this match to start. Everyone's already off to the races. Blue Alliance 1, 2 particles in that center vortex, wasting no time. 86-51, lining themselves up, just overshooting their alliance, catching it up. Red Alliance getting 1 particle. 69-29, scoring 2 particles into their center vortex. Red Alliance capturing another. Blue Alliance just overshooting. 86-51, lining themselves up. Readjusting. 69-21, lining themselves up. Their alliance getting 1, them getting a second. Rise of Feist is lining themselves up. They got 2 particles into the center vortex already. They're coming to the back of the field, gathering up as many particles as possible. 1, 2 particles into that Red Alliance. Rise of Feist is playing a little defense. Blue Alliance, 1, 2, 3 particles. Red Alliance, they're doing a countdown. They're seeing how many particles they can get into this center vortex before the end. Red Alliance, 1. Blue Alliance, 1. Particles into those center vortex. We have another 42 seconds on the clock. 69-29, lining themselves up. Their alliance getting 1, them getting a second, matching it with 2 particles. Red Alliance, 1, 2 particles. You heard that bell. 30 seconds. This is endgame. 86-86 wasting no time. They have their cap ball already up. Careful not to spin the center vortex. Their Alliance trying to get some last-minute particles in. That center vortex is moving. Red Alliance trying to chase it around. We got another 13 seconds. Red Alliance carefully, and they're both successfully capped. It is now a battle for the beacons for the last 7 seconds. All right, they are all blue. 86-51, just getting that red.
All right, that's going to be high fives all around. I'm dying to see how this score comes out because this is really close. When that high goal turned, I got a little nervous for the Red Alliance.
But they managed to make it work anyways.
They can do it, and that's why these teams have made it all the way here to this Festival of Champions.
I just think it's amazing. They're working over thousands of miles. They must have been talking for the past, 3 months. They must have been, figuring out what they want to do.
And, in talking to these teams for the last couple of days, we know that actually throughout most of First Tech Challenge, but these teams all put in over 1,000 hours. One team actually in their survey said they only put in about 300 hours, but it really is, it's about 1,500 hours. One team said almost 3,000 hours, and you can see the hard work here, but my point is, I think between Houston and St. Louis, each one of these teams probably put another 1,000 hours into getting the robots ready for this Festival of Champions.
And they must have been Skyping all the time, texting all the time, figuring out what they want to do, making sure their autonomouses work together, because they can't just come here, unprepared. They got it under control.
Well, listen, we've seen the incredible stories of the teams that came here from Houston. Let's now look at the stories of the teams that made it here all the way from the St. Louis Championship.
All right, one.
The Data Force was founded in 2013. All our members have long histories with FIRST. We are proud that over the years we have learned core values that have helped us grow individually and as a team. We collaborate and cooperate in everything we do. We share ideas and solutions to complete challenges. We work together to build our robot and to display gracious professionalism at competition. Our goal this year was to be a team that embodies the values of FIRST. Our theme this year was Forced Awakening. We at Data Force awakened the inner STEM in everyone we met. We did it with our time and knowledge. We are Data Force and are proud to be at the Festival of Champions 2017.
All right, are you ready to see the score up on the big screen? All right, and here it comes. Remember, Red Alliance won the first match. And there you have it. Red Alliance wins the second match at the Festival of Champions. 180 points and 145 points for the blue. All right, Zach Renana, back to you.
Thank you so much, David. What an incredible first two matches we got to see from the First Tech Challenge field. I know that everybody at home watching on Twitch is probably enjoying this. Everybody in the stands, are you guys having a good time so far? Remember, if you are watching at home, you can subscribe to the Twitch channel and you can cheer for your favorite alliances. You can use the Go Red Alliance, Go Blue Alliance. You can use Twitch and show your support for these teams that have done such an incredible job here at the Festival of Champions.
It's so much fun to cheer in chat. And don't forget, you can also click follow on this channel to make sure that you don't miss any first events moving forward. And I don't want to miss anything else because now it's time to get into the first robotics competition. So now let's go over to Blair at the first robotics competition desk.
Thank you, Zach and Anna. Welcome to the FRC field. A lot of action over there, but First Tech Challenge, I think First Robotics competition is ready to get things started. We've been 3 months to the day since we left St. Louis. I am joined at the desk here. My FRC analyst is Ruth Toomey, an alum, and also from the Robo Sports Network. Welcome, Ruth.
Thanks, Blair. Pumped to be here.
So the teams have been anxious. They've been studying the tape of Houston, of St. Louis. But before we get to that first match, let's meet some of our field personnel. We've got a collection of very experienced referees here. They were all head refs in their time, but we've got one head ref leading the head refs, Aiden Brown. And give it up for our game announcer. He's back in the game, Mr. Andy Grady. We had 2 championships. Let's hear the story of how these teams got here. First, the path to the Festival of Champions for the Houston Alliance.
Nothing like I've ever experienced before.
Never felt anything like it before.
I don't realize this is happening.
15 years of this, and this is the farthest we've ever gone. I can't like explain how much this means to me.
It felt great. Nothing like it ever in my life. This is amazing. This is the furthest an Arizona team has gotten in a while.
It wasn't even like a game. It was just like we're all here together, and I'm so excited to be here. I can't like wrap my mind around this again, man.
It's completely unreal to us.
I can't believe it was us. I had a feeling, but I knew it was going to be difficult. It was our alliance playing it smart, a lot of hard work, and deciding when to substitute in.
So much time and effort.
Our 3rd versus 4th robot, which is us.
Practice.
Playing defense when needed, a lot of hours, and running more gears when needed. You know, dedication. It's that simple.
We're going to Manchester.
Festival of Champions!
Yeah! Festival of Champions!
What? Festival of Champions.
Manchester!
What? I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
We're going to the Festival of Champions!
We're back with the Houston teams. And to introduce the teams, we've got a guest MC coming in from Team 3132, Thunder Down Under from Sydney, Australia, the Chairman's Award winning team from Houston. Take it away, Emma.
G'day everybody. I am so proud to announce and welcome our Houston Championship Alliance. First off, we have Team 973.
From Atascadero, California, with a record of 38 wins, 12 losses, 1 tie, it's the Greybots!
Next up, we have Team 1011.
From Tucson, Arizona, with a record of 40 wins, 15 losses, it's Crush!
Joining them, we have Team 4188.
From Columbus, Georgia, with a record of 65 wins, 27 losses, 3 ties, Columbus Space Program.
And finally, Team 5499.
From Berkeley, California, with a record of 33 wins, 15 losses, the Bay Orangutans.
All right, we've seen the path to the Festival of Champions for the Houston Alliance. Let's check it out for the St. Louis Alliance.
Unreal. Amazing.
Really excited. To finally go from like our first win a couple years ago to all the way to Worlds, it's just, I like started crying when I saw it. I was like, oh my goodness.
We never expected to win. It was just a shock at the end, seeing the scores barely come so close. We almost thought they had it, and the scores went up, and we freaked out.
It was amazing to see. We had such a great alliance. Our alliance partners were just amazing to play with. Our opponents played really well, too, so I'm really happy, really excited we won.
It's all the ups and downs that we went through when our auto wasn't working, when it was, when the other team's auto wasn't working. The whole dynamic of working with everyone throughout that whole process was unbelievable.
Really amazing, really tense, and like really exhausting, too.
It's the hardest fun you'll ever have. It's been a crazy season with it. It's my first year on pit crew. A lot of rushing to get it in and like, come on, let's go. We have 2 minutes. And sometimes you're just like, I can't get this pin in. I'm shaking so bad.
You kind of like look around you and you see all your friends cheering you on, and it kind of like helps you like realize how awesome it is to be there.
We've grown from like 15 girls my freshman year to like 35 now. We almost have an all-girl drive team, and I'm just so overjoyed to be able to be a part of the females in STEM.
With all the opportunities I've gotten through first, I wouldn't even consider engineering as a career in the future.
I'm going to engineering now. It's really influenced the rest of my life.
Technical, non-technical, business side, leadership, just pick something. I have the experience to do it.
Being in first is honestly one of the best things I've ever decided to do.
It helps people. It's amazing. It's hands-on experience. There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfect.
Thank you to sponsors. Thank you to the parents who've been with us this whole time. Thank you to the students and the mentors for guiding the students throughout the whole design process.
Their generosity and their willingness to support the team is just astounding.
Manchester, I think it's
an even higher level than where I'm standing right now, and that is almost unbelievable.
Just know to keep trying, and then you can make it out there.
All right, our St. Louis champions. To introduce them, we've got a guest MC, Henry from Team 2614, the Mars team from West Virginia, who won the Chairman's Award in St. Louis.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to introduce our St. Louis Championship Alliance. Starting off, we have Team 2767.
From Kalamazoo, Michigan, with a record of 59 wins and 27 losses, the Strike Force.
Next up, we have Team 254.
From San Jose, California, with a record of 48 wins and 6 losses, the Cheesy Poofs.
Team 862.
From Canton, Michigan, with a record of 42 wins, 24 losses, 3 ties, Lightning Robotics.
And rounding it all off, we have Team 1676.
From Montvale, New Jersey, with a record of 39 wins, 33 losses, 2 ties, the Pascack Pioneers.
All right, it's time for the traditional handshake at first. Henry and Emma, why don't you take it away?
In the long-standing tradition of first, we will begin the match with a team handshake. I'll wait for the teams to get out here.
All right, Ruth, we started with nearly 3,400 teams. We are down to 8. Now, these teams know each other very well. We finished play at the championships 3 months ago. What's the difference we're seeing out here?
Well, these teams have had those 3 months to prepare and re-strategize and analyze everything that's been going on the entire season. They've been emailing back and forth. There have been phone conferences. Some of the teams even share a practice facility.
No, that's 254?
And 973.
They're like sister teams.
You could say that.
Brother-in-law teams, because they actually won a world championship together in the past. Now they're at opposite ends of the field. But there's another difference on the field as well. In the Red Alliance, we're seeing they've had to swap somebody in during the offseason, the Houston Alliance. So who came in and who came out?
4188 is in for 2928, the Vikings. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it. So 4188 has joined from the Finalist Alliance of Houston.
And they came from the Finalist Alliance. The Alliance captain, per the rules, got to choose who they want to play with as a substitute. They are here, and it looks like they are in the first match. They are, they're on the bench the first match.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Houston is going to be going in with their winning alliance today.
So, as was alluded to in that video, St. Louis won by 3 points in the match. This is going to be a tight match.
It's going to be amazing to see.
And I think we're ready on the field, so we'll toss it down to Henry to start the match.
And we're off and running here, match number 1 of the Festival of Champions. We're going for 1. Look at all the balls go. We got a second delivery, double gear auto. Rotor spinning all over the place. Drivers take control. Oh boy, surprises right off the bat here in the first match. We have the Red Alliance, a very strong gear alliance, trying to load up the airship. The Blue Alliance is a very versatile alliance. They have a lot of ball capability. As you can see, the fuel is covering the field. That way the Cheesy Poos can load up that massive hopper that they have, and that's their goal, is to try to get that thing loaded up. And the same thing can be said for Strike Force, who likes to load up too. However, do not underestimate this Red Alliance and the Gray Bots, as well as Team 1011 Crush, just dropping them down. Team 5499, the Orangutans, making a delivery. Look at the delivery on both sides. The Poofs unloading. 973, the Gray Bots unloading. Whole lot of points going up on the board. Almost to a minute left. The Poofs cleaning up. Hoover vacuum maneuver. More gears being delivered to the airship. We have 2 rotors spinning for red, 2 rotors spinning for blue. At some point, you got to wonder, is there going to be some defensive maneuvering that's going to take place here? Poof's a little bit starved on balls right now. To be expected with so much firepower in this field. Gray Bots have a full hopper heading on back towards the boiler. You hear the whistle sound, the ropes are going to come down off the airship. And here we go for one more gear to get a third rotor up and going. There's the third rotor for the Red Alliance. Here come the shots from the Gray Bots. Here come the shots from the Poofs. 10 seconds left. Up go the robots up the rope. 2 up for blue. 1 up for red. A dash at the last second for Pascack. Not quite able to make it. My goodness, what a match. We'll have the official results for you in just a moment. And the official results of match number 1. It's the Red Alliance by a score of 508 to 342.
Houston has come to play.
Wow, just wow. They were the underdogs coming into this. Everybody was looking at 254 and 2767 and 1676, blowing them out of the water. They come out with 2 gears in auto for 10-11.
Now, you said they were underdogs, and you're not just making that up. Yesterday during practice, they were going around saying, we know we're the underdogs. We know, like everybody thinks St. Louis is here to play. But that was the difference right there. 2 gears in auto and the hangs.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's just such a small margin of error where they're coming out in autonomous. If 10-11 missed a little bit to the left or the right, that would have been no good, and it would have messed up 973 with their shooting.
So the surprise here is 973 is the only shooter on the Red Alliance.
Absolutely. But, you know, 973 is one of the top-tier shooters in the world. And they face a similar matchup in Houston. They were going up against Citrus Circuits and the Robonauts, who were also 2 top-tier shooters.
So their alliance partners, you saw a lot of defense being played over here in the corner, actually flanking them, trying to give them space and give them space to clear the zone, get back and shoot. 54.99, the little machine from the Bay Area, 58 pounds. That's 58 pounds of thunder right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. 54.99 Bay Orangutans. If you're that small, you can go that fast, you can fit through any space, you can't be stopped.
All right, we are going to reset the FRC field, and meanwhile, we're going to send it back to First Tech Challenge. Back to David.
All right, thank you guys. That was some incredibly hard work over on the FRC field. Let's welcome right now back to our First Tech Challenge field. Remember, we've just had 2 matches. We're going 3 out of 5 here on the FTC field, and the Red Alliance has won both. We want to see the Blue Alliance win so we can move forward, and we've got some incredible powerhouses because on the Red Alliance, our team from Montana, they've never scored less than 200 points. They've been kind of pushed out a little bit because of the heavy defense on the Blue. So let's get ready for this next match. All right, we're going to start 30-second autonomous mode right now. Check. Red Alliance ready. Blue Alliance ready. Time's on the board. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Bobots making their way. They made 1 particle up into their center vortex. 724 lining themselves up for the beacon. They have a red beacon in their possession. 4216 lining themselves up. 6929 lining themselves up. They successfully get 2. 724 successfully gets 2 particles into their center vortex. Their cap ball, they're trying to push it off. Red Alliance just missing. All right, Red Alliance ends on that base. Blue Alliance ends on the base. We have 2 beacons for the Red Alliance, 2 for the Blue Alliance.
Boy, this is going to be close. Now what we see on the floor is the drivers just checking the robots. They're changing from autonomous mode into teleop mode. You'll see some of the drivers grab the controllers, just do a little wiggle test to make sure that they've connected to the robot. And our head referee working with one of the other referees, making sure the scores are good for that 30-second autonomous mode. Oh, we're doing a paper test, just making sure that team number 5916 has the robot not on the base of that high goal.
So if they were on the base, that would be extra points for their alliance.
It would be. Well, I look around the room right now, and I look at the volunteers on the floor, the referees. There are decades of experience here. We've got thumbs up. All right, drivers, have your controllers in hands. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? All right, time's on the board, and 3, 2, 1, go!
This could potentially be the last match over on the FTC side. Right now we have 2 beacons for the blue, 2 for the red. 5916 wasting no time, shooting their particle up. Just over shooting, they went to go pick it back up, lining themselves up. Blue Alliance, 1, 2 particles. Red Alliance has another particle into that center vortex. Seems to be a little commotion going on in the front of the field, trying to pick up those blue particles. 724 wasting no time. They got 2 particles in for the Red Alliance. 42-16 playing some defense on the Bobots as they're trying to line themselves up. Red Alliance, they're getting their particles in. Blue Alliance, 1, 2 particles into that center vortex. Right now, all the beacons are for the Blue Alliance. 69-29 lining themselves up there in the front of the field, trying to pick up some of their particles. Red Alliance getting another 2 into their center vortex. 42-16 lining themselves up. They have a blue particle in their possession. The head ref is trying to count down the seconds. Every 5 seconds is a penalty. Blue Alliance shooting another 2 particles into the center vortex. 59-16 lining themselves up. They have particles in their possession. They're trying to fight with 724. Trying to get them out of alignment. Blue Alliance, another particle in. 1 particle in for the Red Alliance. Blue, they just shot theirs out. 42-16's got to get rid of that Blue Alliance particle. You heard that whistle, 30 seconds, it's endgame. 42-16, they seem to be getting a lot of penalties right now. The head ref keeps counting down every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, that blue particle is in their robot. That is a minor penalty. 59-16, both alliances have capped on that center vortex. Right now, it's a battle for the beacons. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sarah, the tension, you could cut it with a knife right now. Once again, heavily choreographed. Both teams get the large balls up into the high goal. I saw a lot more particles being shot on the Blue Alliance.
I think they're really realizing now, oh, we got to get this together. I saw a lot less defense in this round because they're trying to, see how high they can score up.
That's a brilliant point.
There was a problem on the Red Alliance, though, because one of the robots had a blue particle in there since the beginning of teleop, which every 5 seconds they have that in their robot. That is a minor penalty that kept being added. But of course, it's in a position that it was one of their autonomous placements, so they couldn't get it out of there.
Absolutely right. You could see Mark Edelman, our referee, he was actually, he was waving his hand, indicating that that was happening. Well, listen, right now, if you all know First Tech Challenge, you know how prestigious it is for a team to win the Inspire Award. So if we could just take a moment, let's right now play the Inspire Award for the team that came out of Houston.
Are we doing? Yeah, we got it.
All right, back to you, Zach and Anna.
Thanks so much, guys. I am standing here with Carly from the Pascack Pioneers, who's a robotics competition team, and we have a great story to tell you because we hear that when you guys came back from winning the St. Louis Championship, there was quite a crowd to greet you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're coming home from a 20-hour bus ride from St. Louis. We're all exhausted. We're ready to go home, go bed. And we pull up to the school, and we see all of our friends and family and teachers and school admin and members of the local newspaper, and they're cheering for us, and they made all these posters saying congratulations and pictures of us throughout the years and alumni. It was the most incredible feeling ever.
Yeah, how did that feel to be kind of honored in that way as a champion, the way that any returning team to your town would be?
It was amazing. Our town gets a lot of recognition for sports, and they win this state championship and that state championship, but this was a world championship. It was amazing. We were interviewed by RoboZone and local radio stations, and it was just so humbling to finally be recognized for all the hard work we do.
That's amazing. It must have felt so good.
It's got to be an amazing way to be welcome home and celebrated by your community, and I know that we still have some celebration to do here, so I'm going to throw it back to David at the first Tech Challenge desk for that score.
All right, thank you, Zach, very much. And right now, remember, we had Red Alliance win the first 2 matches. This was a heavy third match that we had, and let's post those scores right now. Wow, there you have it. Blue Alliance wins it, 460 points, and Red Alliance 250 points, 255 points. So we're going to go another round. Back to you, Blair.
All right, before we get to match 2 here on the FRC field, let's hear about the stories from the teams who got here from the Houston Championship.
Crush was founded at Sonoran Science Academy, Tucson in 2002. We are proud to be able to call Sonoran Science Academy and Tucson our home.
Crush has built more than successful robots. We've built a strong family.
Crush has come a long way over the past 3 seasons.
This was my first year, and I've never actually been to championships, so it's really cool to be in the pit.
This was the farthest our team has ever made it, so I wanted to make the best impression out of this and win Einstein.
All right, that's the story of the teams we got here. Now, we talked about offense after match one. Ruth, let's talk a little bit about defense. What did you see?
You know what they say, defense does win championships. You saw a little bit of a peg defense by 54.99 against the St. Louis Alliance. It's basically 54.99 sitting in front of the peg, blocking that off, forcing the team to use only 2 pegs to score those gears, which can really set you back, and because every cycle counts when you're trying to score those gears.
And not only were they busy playing defense, but 10-11 was playing some defense as well.
10-11 really being versatile there. They managed to keep 1679 Pascack, or 1676, sorry, Pascack Pioneers in the blue loading zone for about 15 seconds or so, which did eat up a cycle.
And I think it prevented them from getting a hang as well.
Absolutely, but you know, 10-11 did prevent themselves from getting a hang as well. They missed it by about an inch there, but 1676 was there, and they just grabbed the rope as the time stopped.
All right, it looks like the same lineup on the field for our Red Alliance.
And it looks like the same for blue.
All right, the gates are being closed. The crowd is getting ramped up. Head refs are all getting into place. I'm going to toss it down to Emma, our guest MC, to start the match. Take it away, Emma.
Okay, guys, are we ready for game 2? Okay, pilots ready for flight, drivers behind your lines. And in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go, match number 2. Red Alliance leads 1-0. Our Houston champions trying to make it happen here. Balls flying everywhere, looking for double rotor. Here it comes, can they make it in time? 2 rotors both sides, good job. And drivers take control. That is a big time negation because the Blue Alliance so good at that maneuver and the Red Alliance pulling that out just for this event. Not an easy thing to try to do that with such notice there. 1676, it looked like the Pascack Pioneers might be having an issue over in the corner. Meanwhile, sliding down the field, a very, very, very strong Strike Force robot. Look how that robot maneuvers from one side of the field to the other. They pull these spin moves on the way, which help them get by and deliver gears. Right now, we got 3 rotors for blue, 2 for red. And here comes the shot from the Greybots. Up and in the boiler, all that fuel is going. The Pascack Pioneers are up and moving again. Look at them go. We're running down close to a minute. A lot of defense being played here now on the poops by Crush. Lightning Robotics now trying to make a Crush sandwich with the poops. Big, big log jam over in the blue line scoring zone. The Poos now unloading in that goal. However, a little bit of defense. Poos now again, lined up, unload. Crush trying to hold them at bay with 35 seconds left. 3 rotors on each side. And there go the Greybots now, trying to even up the fuel count. Another gear being delivered. We're getting close. 20 seconds left. Ropes have been released off of the airship. Up goes the orangutans. Up goes Crush. Can they make contact? They do. Blue line still yet to make a run for the ropes. Greybots, a little bit stuck. The Poofs are up. 3, 2, 1. And the official result from match number 2. The winner is Red by a score of 492 to 428. Red Alliance up 2-0.
All right, another exciting FRC match. That was great.
Yeah, this one was a lot closer. Red managed to nail that 2-gear auto again. It's like they're putting on a clinic on how to run autonomous programs. And then Blue managed to get the 2-rotor auto this time. Red didn't get that benefit, so it was a lot closer coming out of autonomous.
So we saw also a lot of defense. Crush was like pushing the Poofs in that corner and boxing them in pretty strongly that time. We saw some pretty nice rams on there as well. Did you see that?
Absolutely, and you saw that effect in the score. 254 had they have a non-turreted shooter, so that's just hitting in a straight stream. If you're going to hit them, that's going to throw off how they're aiming. You saw a lot of really good gear pickup. 1676 was dead half the match. 2767 and 254 really showing their versatility out there with stepping up on that gear game. Both alliances managed to pull off the 4 rotors.
All right, we've got robots hanging. We've got to get them back down on the field so we can reset for match number 3 here. But before we do that, let's hear about the St. Louis Alliance team stories.
it's a community team is definitely one of our most unique factors. Most teams are focused on schools. We take from all schools in our community. Outside strikers, we would never met each other. The team really combines people from different areas together. It's just awesome to see all the people in our community that love building robots like we do. I think the most challenging part of the season was the prototyping phase. Oh, this is totally going to work, but then it turned out absolutely not working. It let us really experiment around with different designs and just continuously making different things. It's not just building the robot all the time, it's also make sure you have to take time to connect with the people around you. I'm able to learn things I haven't been able to learn in the other places. It's not like you're forced to do it, you just kind of come here and just strive to do better.
What an incredible story that we got to see from all of those teams all across the nation. And I am lucky enough to be joined by Layla from Team 973, the Greybots, another wonderful student here on the first robotics competition.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. We are excited to have you here. We just saw your alliance compete against, what was an incredible high-scoring match. But there's an interesting story going on there where you have a pretty close relationship with the team on the other side, right?
Oh yeah, 254, we won a championship with them in 2011. We actually go to their practice fields a lot to practice with them, scrimmage with them. We talk to each other. They're a really cool team. They also allowed 5499 to use their practice field this year.
What an incredible display of, one of those really important aspects of FIRST, which is cooperation. So I'm really curious, what does it feel like to, be across from them on the driver's, station, seeing them, your friends competing against them, but also celebrating their successes too?
I mean, it's really cool because either way, somebody wins, right? I mean, I'm obviously rooting for my team, but 254 is just a totally amazing bunch of people, and I have a bunch of friends on that team, and they're just really cool. So either way, it's going to be really awesome.
I love seeing these students honor each other. It's so cool. Thank you so much for inspiring all of us to do the same.
No problem. It's just, FIRST is just an amazing program that's inspired me and a lot of my friends so much.
There's another really awesome, inspiring group of students that we want to recognize right now, and that's the Dean's List Award recipients. Those are people who have been recognized because they have amazing leadership skills, good character, and they promote FIRST within their schools and communities. So let's learn a little bit about them right now.
Well done. Fantastic. Such a good job, Layla.
So here we are back on the First Tech Challenge field here at the Festival of Champions. Let me do a really quick recap. We had the Red Alliance win the first 2 rounds because they were working really hard, but there was some heavy defense going on by the Blue Alliance. We know they were doing heavy defense because the Red Alliance could score traditionally much higher than they were scoring. Then we went to a 3rd match, and in that 3rd match, the Blue Alliance really kicked it up into high gear. They became much more aggressive, and now we're ready to start match number 4. So we have both alliances ready. We're going to start our 30-second autonomous mode. And now I'm going to say it. Red Alliance, are you ready? Blue Alliance, are you ready? Time's on the board, and 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, this could be the final match. Red Alliance is up by 2. Blue Alliance is 1-1. They need to win this match to stay alive and to get us to go to the 5th match. 42-16. They're crawling their way into the back of the field. They're lining themselves up. Their Alliance, 1, 2, 3 particles. Going into that center vortex. They're picking off. They're trying to hit that cat ball off the base. They're trying to pick up those particles from the floor that their Alliance had already shot. They got that cat ball off. Right now we have 2 beacons for the Red Alliance, and the Blue Alliance is up on the side ramp.
Yeah, and the beacons over on the blue side, they're still both different colors. And it was tricky because 69-29, the team that you see on the field in orange, they were shooting the particles up into the high goal, but they were just missing getting those points in the autonomous period. Those could be some valuable points at the end of this match. We'll see what happens. So right now we have the referees. They're taking the score on the field. And Mr. Coleman, one of our Volunteer of the Year FTAs, he gives a thumbs up. Drivers, controllers in hand. And we're going to start our next teleop mode. Red Alliance ready. Blue Alliance ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, all 4 robots are already in motion. 59-16, they're making their way to try to get those particles in the front of the perimeter. Red Alliance and Blue Alliance seem to be having some difficulties. Red Alliance still 1, 2, 3 particles. 4 particles going in for that red into the center vortex. Meanwhile, Blue Alliance has got 3 in theirs. Red Alliance understands now they had a blue particle on their robot. They quickly shook it off so they had no penalties. Red Alliance is at 8 particles into the center. Blue Alliance has a particle stuck on top of them. Blue Alliance 1 particle into the center vortex. Red Alliance matching them. They seem to have a particle stuck in their center vortex. Looks like they're down to 4 particles that they can use on the floor now. 1, 2, 3 particles into that center vortex for the Blue Alliance. Red Alliance getting another 2 in.
Got it.
724 making their way. They have particles in their possession. 1, 2, and they successfully hit that particle out of the center vortex. 1, 2 particles going in for the Blue Alliance. Seems to be some defense going on. Bobot's trying to get in the way of 724. They know that they're a consistent shooter. They're lining themselves up, and they still are able to shoot in 2 particles into their center vortex. Redneck Robotics lining themselves up. Blue Alliance, another 2 particles going in, and everyone knows what that whistle means. 30 seconds, this is endgame. Alliances are going to pick up their cat ball. Bobot's lining themselves up. They already have it in their possession. They're backing themselves up quickly. Their Alliance getting 2 more particles in to that center vortex before they do. Slowly but surely. Red Alliance also getting more particles into their center vortex for cap. Blue Alliance is successfully capped, and the Red Alliance seems to be a little stuck. Backing themselves out, getting a 3, 2, 1. All right, we end with 2 cap balls, 2 beacons for the Red Alliance and 2 for the Blue. This is going to be a great score.
This is just too tense. Think about what it means for these teams when all throughout the season they go to an event, they've got all their build-up matches. These teams came in right out of the gate working hard. And I think about this. In Houston and in St. Louis, at those, even the championship rounds, the teams were not scoring the cap ball. And here, in every match so far, they're scoring the cap ball because they're so well choreographed. That was an incredible match. Zachary and Anna, back to you guys. All right, before we get to them, we're family and we can have a sense of humor. We might see this round go to a 5th match. I want to see a 5th match. Not that I'm rooting for any alliance, but you know, we're here on a beautiful Saturday, and I want to see these teams get all their hard work put to good use. What do you think of that last match, Sarah?
I mean, I'm really just having a good time watching Houston. We were both in St. Louis together. We got to see these teams already. Houston is really impressing me with their autonomouses that they've worked together on.
Yeah.
They're teleoperated. They're staying out of each other's way. They know exactly what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we saw the broadcast of what came out of Houston, and you know, we see that, and then we saw what happened in St. Louis when we were there, and we're waiting to be here at this Festival of Champions. All right, I think we're ready. Let's pass it over to Zachary and Anna.
Hi guys, I am here with 2 team members from Rise of Hephaestus, Colin and Haley. Guys, tell us a little bit about Rise of Hephaestus. Where does the name come from, Haley?
Well, a long time ago when the team was started, some of our members were in middle school, and obviously they were younger, so they liked Greek mythology, and they decided to name the team Sons of Hephaestus because at that time the team was all boys. Flash forward a couple years later, we get a sponsor called RISE, Robotics Inspiring Science and Engineering, and a girl joins the team, so they changed the name from Sons to Rise of Hephaestus to honor our sponsor.
Sponsors are so important for teams to be able to be successful. I know you guys have some big ones. Is there any sponsors you want to give a shout out to, Colin?
Yeah, well, one of our biggest supporters is Qualcomm, and Qualcomm has also done a lot with FIRST. So I want to especially thank Qualcomm for what help they've given us. And they're also from San Diego, so it's been nice working with them. So
It sounds like you guys have some big supporters here in the crowd. Zach, I know you're familiar with that feeling of teamwork.
It's so great to hear, all the cheering going on from the audience here in the arena. So thank you all for supporting these teams, cheering everyone on in the competition. Thank you to those watching at home. Thanks to all the sponsors. You guys are doing a wonderful job, the volunteers, everyone. And I know that one of the most important things is going to be trying to figure out, who won that last match. We need to know. It's burning on the inside. So we're going to throw it back to David. Let us know who won.
All right, here we are. Who won the last match? Remember, in these matches, we had the Red Alliance win the first two. We had the Blue Alliance win the next one. Let's put the score up on the big screen. And there you have it. The Red Alliance wins it at the Festival of Champions 2017. Sarah, great job. There you have it. We're going to have a nice party over here, and we'll pass it. We'll pass everything back over to Blair. So here we are at the Festival of Champions on the first Tech Challenge field. I can see some people in front of me with some big lumps in their throats. They thought it was enough to win in Houston, and here they are in Manchester, New Hampshire. Remember, the first World Championship happened only about 5 or 10 miles just south of this arena, and here we are a quarter century later with more than 55,000 first teams globally, and we have the first Tech Challenge champion from the Festival of Champions. These teams did an absolutely incredible job. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Just hold on.
So here we have these players in front of me again. They're taking photos. These teams are going to have beautiful banners to bring back with them to their schools. All right, we're ready to go back over to the other playing field. Let's welcome back FRC. Back to you, Blair.
All right, congratulations to the Red Alliance over there on the first Tech Challenge field. Blue Alliance, well played as well. Back here, we're getting ready on the FRC field. We're not quite ready. There's been a lineup change though, Ruth.
There has. 862 is subbing in on the St. Louis Alliance. You gotta remember, in the World Championships, you have 4 teams on your alliance, not 3.
So everyone has got a bench. They can swap in. They're down 2 matches. They're trying to try something, maybe a different strategy. Shake it up a little bit. But before we get to the match, we're still preparing this field. We wanted to honor and recognize our Chairman's Award-winning teams. So we're going to play their videos, and there are 2 parts. There's a part that each one of our Chairman's Award teams submitted, and then we will also play their Chairman's Award submission video. Let's roll the tape.
team to build a robot. Help teams in every continent. Well, maybe not Antarctica. If you support girls in STEM, connect girls around the world, break that glass ceiling, shatter it. If you can use your phone, create a Google Hangout. Use that Hangout to assist teams from around the world. Get other teams on board. Do it 24/7. You can program a Lego robot. You can run a robot. Run a small business. Make enough money to run a team. Franchise it. If you can mentor a kid, mentor a school in your neighborhood, mentor a school in a foreign country, create a space to mentor. There's one team in your area. Start an off-season event. Grow it. Start a regional. Heck, start two. If you can inspire your team, inspire a community. What? Too easy? Inspire 200 towns. Inspire others to pick up the cause. Start a team for homeless teens in the inner city. Be a role model. Yeah, you go, Steve. You can build a robot. You can do more. You can innovate. You can improve. We can inspire the world.
We are Mars.
I would say that my most memorable moments are meeting all sorts of people through Mars and through robotics.
The rest of that competition, I was bouncing from pit to pit, helping first and second year teams with anything they needed.
Seeing Gracious professionalism really come to a new high. We were against a very powerful alliance. One of them broke. We in our alliance agreed to call a timeout. This is what competition is all about, making sure everyone's playing together and playing at their best.
I really realized I was as loved as I am on this team, and I felt like I really was a part of something.
When we won the World Chairman's Award at St. Louis, the amount of emotion that occurred at that moment, everyone was having happy tears.
I looked over at my teammate, and she looked at me, and we both just started crying right there in the stands.
What you see before you are the mountains of West Virginia. Beautiful and truly astounding when seen from here. But what would you see if you looked closer? This is Morgantown, in north central West Virginia, the home of Mountaineer Area Robotics. Each year on the WVU campus, Mars designs and constructs a robot named Marvin. But building a robot is only a single step towards our goal, to foster change in our home, West Virginia. This mission, to inspire students in rural areas to pursue their creative and intellectual passions through programs like FIRST Robotics, seemed impossible just 10 years ago, but now we have a solution. We call this solution the Mars Plan. The first step in this plan is engaging communities around us through visibility. Using this engagement as a springboard, we inspire the creation of robotics programs utilizing experience and financial support gained by Mars over the past decade. We then focus on team sustainability by working closely with coaches and students, mentoring and supporting area teams. In addition to our assistance prior to competition, we ensure events are well run by volunteering as referees, event coordinators, and judges. This support keeps teams coming back, and in the past 10 years, we have more than quadrupled the number of FLL teams within West Virginia. This inherent sustainability and coordination inspires students to continue to participate in higher level robotics programs. To support this transfer of students, we are now expanding West Virginia's FTC, VEX Robotics, and FRC programs through efforts such as running the FTC State Championship and our FRC off-season event, West Virginia Robotics Extreme, the world's only 26-hour robotics endurance event. Mars expects to see tremendous growth within these programs in the coming years, mirroring our efforts with FLL, which we continue to expand. Mars is now working with the West Virginia School for the Deaf and Blind, West Virginia institutional programs, and within county school curriculum to grow the reach of the statewide robotics program to as many students as possible. Outside of our state, Mars also runs programs such as the Mars Tucker Team Help Desk, a program that allows other FRC teams to receive assistance in mechanical, electrical, and software areas, inside and outside of competitive spaces. Mars is now expanding this program to a national level, training other teams to run their own help desks across the country. For 10 years, Mars has strived to become a driving force for STEM education in West Virginia. The Mars plan is working. The state of West Virginia is changing, and we will never let it stop. We are part of a revolution. We are Mars.
Welcome back, friends. We're standing here with the Red Alliance, today's winners of the First Tech Challenge. Let's take a moment. I'd love each of you to say who you are and whose team trophy you're holding today. Your name and your team.
My name is Ilea, and I'm with Team 724 Redneck Robotics.
My name's Ethan Cooper, and I'm with Team 4216 Rise to Hephaestus.
And I'm Matthew Blackshaw, and I'm with Team 8651 Wait For It.
And I have to know, guys, how does it feel to be inducted into this first class of champions here?
It definitely feels special to be the first team to be in the class of champions. We also worked hard really well as an alliance and also as a team to get here. So seeing all of our hard work pay off is just ecstatic and amazing.
Absolutely. Zach?
It's got to be really incredible to see all of the competitors here, you know, knowing to see your robot do something incredible that you planned so long for. So was there anything here that you saw today that surprised you, that you didn't expect, or anything that kind of came out of the blue?
I will say there were a few issues, as there are always, but for the most part, I was more surprised with the enthusiasm that was brought here, because there's always enthusiasm, but everyone was just fired up. Everyone had a great time. They just made the most incredible atmosphere as we competed today.
Absolutely. Well, we have to throw back to Blair, but I would love your help as a class of champions. Will you say it back to Blair at the desk?
All right, back to Blair.
Thank you. Great job. Congratulations. You've tasted success here in Manchester at the Festival of Champions, and we're looking for some more success right here. Right now, let's do a quick recap. Red Alliance, the Houston Alliance, up 2-0. Blue Alliance has swapped in their fourth bot. They're ready to go. The field is set. I'm going to send it down to Henry, our guest MC, to start the match. Take it away, Henry.
Is everyone ready for our third match? All right, pilots ready for flight. Drivers behind the lines. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Match number 3 begins. Maybe looking for a little bit of a change of mojo. The Blue Alliance bringing in Lightning Robotics. No double rotor for red. Will blue nail down the double rotor? No. And drivers take control. A very formidable robot. They were actually the primary partner, Lightning Robotics, in the St. Louis World Championship. Blue Alliance doing what they do, loading up on fuel. Meanwhile, the Red Alliance now going completely offensive. The orangutans making a delivery. Strike Force sliding across the field. Crush has a gear in place. Poof's now trying to get in on the scrum over on the red side of the field, picking up more. And we're down to 80 seconds. Trying to make a delivery of another gear. The Blue Alliance sees the importance of trying to get all 4 rotors up and going. The Red Alliance has 3. Orangutans making a delivery. Not far to go for blue. Here comes the rain of fuel into the boiler for the Blue Alliance. One away from another. Blue Alliance looking for a huge comeback. We have 4 rotors for Blue. 48 seconds left. Poofs doing what the Poofs do. Lightning Robotics going offensive as well. 35 seconds left. Lightning from downtown. Greybots looking to make up some ground for the Red Alliance with their fuel payload. Ropes are now coming down off the airship. Robots preparing for flight. Up goes to Red. Another delivery of the gear to try to get that last rotor. We got 2 Blue, 4 rotors for Red. 6 seconds left. Can the Poofs make it up? Can the Poofs make it up? It's close. Time expired. Oh boy. The official results forthcoming. We'll find out. Do we go one more? And the official results of the last round by a score of 485 to 459. We're going one more!
All right, the Blue Alliance showed up.
Absolutely. 862 swapping in may have been the shot in the arm the Blue Alliance needed. They really had everything dialed in there.
So we've got a lot of experience on that team. Cheesy Poofs, 3-time world champs. They obviously, well, maybe they didn't see the strategy that was going to be played against them, and they responded. What'd you see?
Absolutely. You know, there were a lot of really good defense on the blue side, really clogging up those lanes coming through the match. You also saw some late game climb defense, a really good team up between 2767 and 862, which tied up 10-11 for a good few seconds. 10-11 still managed to get the climb, but it was enough to stop getting in some of those extra points.
I think generally, like the Blue Alliance, St. Louis just threw off the rhythm of the Houston Alliance. 10-11 dropped a gear at midfield in the middle of the game. The strike force, 2767, they were playing some really strong defense at the end on Crush. So what happens next?
Well, I think we are going to a 4th match. It's going to be interesting to see if 973, it looked like they weren't shooting that match. It's going to be interesting to see if they can get that back up and working.
I think we're going to stay with the same configuration. What do you think? Change the strategy?
I think it worked. I think we're going to see this carry through to the next match.
So one of the things that we haven't really touched on are the number of matches these robots have played during the season.
Yeah, their district teams will play in at least 2 district events, then they'll play in a district championship, and then they'll advance from there to the World Championship, where they play through their division to then compete on Einstein. That's a lot of matches. I think that Strike Force may have the most regular season matches played out of the teams here.
86.
86
matches of, that's a lot of abuse on those robots.
It's a lot of abuse on those robots. And 254 has actually played the smallest number of regular season matches.
So that's 54 matches that they've played.
And that's a big disparity.
And with a record of 48-6, that is remarkable.
Oh, absolutely. There really is a lot of wear and tear that you see on these robots, and that's something that you have to balance. You can only be so aggressive at this point in the season because, like what we saw with 1676, they hit that wall a little bit hard. There's a lot of sensitive electronics on these robots.
All right, we need to reset the field here, let these teams lower the robots. Let's send it back to Zachary and Anna with an interview.
That we're seeing out from these robots, they're doing some incredible things on the field, and we can't go without saying that the students are doing some pretty incredible things too. The teams out here are doing wonderful things, and I'm so lucky to be joined by Jay from team 3132, Thunder Down Under.
Hi, Zach.
Thank you so much for joining us up here. Now, I got to learn a little bit about your team, and when I say a little bit, I mean a lot, because there is so much that y'all have accomplished in your region in Australia. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing for FIRST in Australia?
didn't start out as much. A family came over from America, actually my family, and there weren't any teams, FRC teams in Australia. There were about 20 FLL teams, and that's all that there was for First. And we really wanted to bring the inspiration that First gives to kids, not only kids, but teachers and mentors, and we wanted to bring that to the people of Australia.
I think you guys have mentors and team members and lots of people who are involved with your team from all over the world, right? Tell us a little bit about how you accomplished that from Australia.
So we started the program that's called the Global Students Network, and that basically gives students who don't have any local FRC teams in their area, and they can join our team virtually, and we Skype them, we share our Google Drives with them, and we work with them from all over the world. We actually have a girl in Wisconsin, Rachel Hunter. She was on the Patronum bots and the FTC team. We have Katie Johnson, who is on Schrodinger's hat, and many more.
What an incredible way to connect, your community in Australia with the community that exists around the world. So I know that there's got to be somebody watching at home who's interested. If they can join your team, how do they find you? How do they find out how to participate?
They can go on our website. There are contact details there. They can go onto our social media, and they can email us on our email. I don't exactly know what that is, but you can come over to our team here, and if someone you know wants to get involved with that, we can talk to them, and you can put us in contact with them.
I know your team also has some very impressive distinctions and awards. Can you tell us a little bit about kind of the honor roll of your team, if you will?
This year at the Houston Championships, we won the Chairman's Award, so that means we're Hall of Fame, and we get to compete at the World Championships every year now. And it's a really great honor to have that.
Well, thank you so much, Jay, for sharing all of the wonderful stories. Congratulations to your team. Keep doing what you're doing. And I know that everybody at home, please check this out. Join if you can, volunteer where you can. But we got to get back to the action. I know that Blair is really excited to share some information with you. So Blair, what do you got for the audience?
All right, Zach, we are back on the FRC field here. Those matches go by so quickly and they're so dynamic. We're going to do a little highlight reel now of that last match. We can talk it through. Let's play some instant replay.
All right, so we're looking at the autonomous here. You can see on the red side, 10-11 really misses that a little bit, and they nudged 973 during that. Good hits. There's a big hit in the middle of the field there. You can see that 973 is definitely empty. You can see Strike Force really dialing it in there with their shots. And you see some good defense in the back here. 10-11 running a pick on that peg.
All right, this wide shot's a little tough, but we're starting to see the robot starting to hang. The rotors are spinning, 4 on each airship.
Yeah, and you see that the poofs didn't get up there, which, fortunately didn't cost them that match.
So we have another interview ready from Zach and Anna. Let's check it out.
Guys, I'm here with some members of Team Wait For It. Your alliance has just won First Tech Challenge. How are you feeling right now?
We're so excited. We didn't think this was going to happen, but we're so happy.
Coming into a competition like this, I'm sure there are a lot of challenges on your mind. If only we can accomplish this, then we could win. What were some of those challenges and how did you accomplish them?
One of our challenges were how could we make the most points happen. So we did a lot of searching, trying new ideas over the 3 months that we had after the World Competition in Houston. And after this, we found a lot of great ideas to advance all of our robots.
That's so wonderful to hear that you were trying to come up with new strategies and everything like that. And I know that one of the interesting parts about this must be that you have a lot of strategies because your members came from a First Lego League team, right? So can you tell me a little about going through the programs?
Yes, we all started. Everyone on our team started on an FLL team, and we all made it to the World Competition. So we all got to experience the really fun First Lego League. And we all advanced. 3 of our older team members on our team advanced before, so this is their 3rd year in FTC, and all the younger ones did FLL last year. And so this is our first year in FTC. It's really great to experience all of this for our first year.
Having been involved in First LEGO League, you guys have a great perspective on the impact that First can make on your life. And I know we're talking to a lot of people at home who may have just been introduced to First. Can you tell them a little bit about what it's like to be part of First LEGO League and why they might want to get involved in something like First at whatever level?
First, it really helps because you just see through new eyes. Basically, like looking at Legos or looking at metal, you can think, this is what I can do, this could happen, and it just opens a new perspective, and helping people and gracious professionalism, I just think it really helps with everything.
These guys also, I have been admiring your capes, so I have to ask, I know you guys are a close-knit team, there's a lot of friendships, I hear you enjoy spontaneous dance parties. Can you tell me a little bit first why the capes, and also tell me about your team and your friendships?
Yes, we like the capes because we like a little bit of bling. We have all black. We have a black robot, black shirt. So we wanted to get some silver capes to sort of let our team stand out of the crowd with our silver capes. And everyone on our team is very close friends. We all live in the same city. We get together. We see each other probably at least 3 times a week. So we're all homeschooled, so we can meet almost any time of the day for our robotics. So that really helps.
That's awesome.
It's so great to see, friends, learning, challenging each other, competing here at First competitions. So congratulations to y'all for, winning. You are part of the first class of champions here in New Hampshire. And you know what? I think we still got to find out. There's more challenges to come. So Blair, hey, what's going on over at the desk?
We are still setting the field up. The fuel is being loaded into the robots. But we want to take you back about 3 months and 1 week to Houston. Let's just check out the highlights from the Houston Championship. All right, I was in Houston and it didn't look like that. It was a lot smoother. We're not quite ready on the field here. We're still setting these robots up. But we started talking about the wear and tear on these robots. And just yesterday in practice, we had 2 machines go down, both on the Red Alliance, 4188. What happened to them?
Looks like they had stripped a gearbox. They did manage to get that fixed last night. But when you strip a gearbox, it's a really big repair that you got to make.
And Captain 973 had some camera issues.
They did, and it looked like they were able to get that fixed and back out on the practice field for the end of the night. But it seems like everything is more or less working okay today.
So there's sensitive electronics on these machines.
Absolutely.
They're taking a hit out there, as we saw some of those like collisions at midfield. So, but the drivetrains, we're seeing like small robots able to push big robots. What's happening there, Rose?
Yeah, so you'll see 10 and 11 cornering 254 while they're trying to shoot and actually just manhandling them around the field. There are different ways that you can design and build those drivetrains, and depending on the gearing that you do, you can really get a lot of downforce and a lot of pushing force with those drivetrains.
So that's 10, 11, 2767. What do they have?
Well, they have something that's called a holonomic drivetrain, more colloquially known as swerve drive. They basically have 4 paws in each corners of their robot, which rotate in place, and they have another motor that drives around. They're really graceful around the field. They can spin as they're driving, which makes it really hard to defend them.
So, and the designs of these robots, you're seeing intake. Let's talk about intake. Cheesy Poofs, how does their intake differ from, say, the Greybots?
Well, Cheesy Poofs have a much wider, they have a full roller intake across the front of their robot. They actually expand after autonomous. So they have a much wider area, a much wider sweet spot to be able to pick up all those balls as they're coming across the field. 973 has a much narrower path to be able to pick up those balls. Same thing with 2767. So it's a little bit, they don't have quite the throughput that 254 does just for gobbling those balls up.
And let's talk about gear pickup. So 2767, Strikeforce has a really clever gear pickup.
Yeah, it's actually really elegant. They just have to drive forward over the gear. The mechanism sucks it up into their robot, and it gets processed through and comes out on the back. You really want to watch out for that in this next match. Comes out to the back where they deploy the gear onto the peg.
And how about the small but mighty Bay machine, $54.99, the 58-pound wonder.
Bay orangutans, man. So they have a pretty common gear mechanism. They just have like a little scooper with the rollers that pull the gear in, and it just gets a good lock on it so that they can just drop it off the peg and zip around the field. You know, 1011 took a little bit of an interesting approach. They have a pneumatic collector. So it's a two-step process. So they'll actually pick up the gear off the ground. They'll clamp it with their pneumatics. So there's a little bit of give in there. They'll pick it up and then drop it off.
It looks like our field is just about set here. Oh, see a thumbs down. Alex, our FTA, smiling. Now that's a good sign. And now he's dancing.
Now he's dancing.
So we do need to give a shout out. One of the teams that made it all the way here to Manchester and haven't played yet today. So 41-88.
41-88. You know, they were on the finalist alliance in Houston, really put up a good show there. I think it comes down to a little bit about how the teams mesh. Unfortunately, 41-88 is from the Peachtree district down in Georgia, and they haven't really had that chance to play with the rest of the teams here. Right. They literally only saw the Houston winning alliance teams on Einstein. Never played a single match with them up until today, and that can come down to a lot of chemistry on those alliances.
Well, they have played 95 matches throughout the year, so you've had a lot of matches, Columbus. All right, but we are set on the field. We're getting thumbs up from the FTA. We're going to toss it down to Emma to start this match. Emma, get us going.
Hey everybody, are we ready? Okay, pilots are ready for flight, drivers behind your line. And in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, here we go. This is our fourth match. Red Alliance leads 2-1. Going for that double gear auto. Not quite able to make it for Red. Blue Alliance can't quite spin it up either. Drivers will take control. Whoa, look at that slam at midfield. That's definitely going to jar something loose. The two Titans, the Cheesy Poofs, and the Greybots going nose to nose at center field. Poofs, like a vacuum cleaner, doing their thing. Loading up that massive hopper with fuel. Meanwhile, the orangutans for the Red Alliance, trying to get that gear on the airship, joined by Crush. Team number 862. Lightning Robotics in on the action, dropping off a gear. Strikeforce doing the same. 86 seconds left. 3 rotors for blue. 3 rotors for red. Looks like here comes the fuel raining down on that red boiler. Greybots loading up. Looks like we're only 3 away for the Blue Alliance, 4 away for red. Look at the long distance shot by Strikeforce. Doing the slide across the field. A couple of more deliveries by crushing the orangutan. Blue Alliance on the threshold with 49 seconds of getting that 4th rotor up and going. And there it is, 100-point bonus. Red Alliance only a couple away, and here comes the delivery. The Poofs unload, California style right there. 33 seconds left. Another gear in place for the Red Alliance. Another unloading of fuel into the top. We have 4 rotors for red. The Greybots trying to get the Red Alliance back in the fuel game. Here comes Strikeforce. Here come the Poofs. 3 robots trying to go up for red. 9 seconds left. Blue gonna make it. Will they all go? Yes! And the official results from match number 4, with a staggering score of 555 to 539. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a rubber match coming up. The Blue Alliance.
Going to 5, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just electric in here, Blair.
The Festival of Champions, man, nobody wants this game to end. Steamwork is such a great game. It's being played so well at such a high level here. What did you see in that match, Ruth?
Well, one of the more notable things is that 10-11 still didn't hit that double gear auto, but neither alliance got the second rotor. So they were coming out neck and neck right there.
And we saw a lot of traffic at midfield, sometimes a collision on the same alliance.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a huge blind spot in the middle of the field. These airships are there to kind of block both sides of the teams, make it a little bit more interesting gameplay. You end up seeing a lot of collisions in the middle of the field. You end up seeing a lot of gears that'll float around there sometimes. It's really a dangerous spot out there.
And with the Red Alliance being a gear alliance, essentially, you're seeing 54.99 scoot down to the corner as fast as it can. I mean, that thing is a water bug. It moves so quickly. And Crush is doing that as well. And they're trying to make a little bit of room for the Greybots.
Absolutely, and you did see some Greybots doing some really good defense in there. They actually had a really good collision with 254, which managed to slow them up a little bit, not quite enough.
And it looked like the Blue Alliance, St. Louis was definitely in the zone.
Absolutely. There's no wasted movement on the Blue Alliance. You'll notice that 254 and their partners will go around and they'll deploy all the hoppers throughout the course of the game, and they don't sit there and wait during teleoperated control. It's easier for them and faster for all of the teams here to pick up those balls off the floor as they're driving, rather than sit there and waste seconds waiting for the hopper to fill their robot.
All right, well, we have to reset this field. We've got to get those robots the time to cool down, recharge, so we're going to send it back to Anna over with an interview.
Zach and I are about to check out this interview, and we're standing here with Caleb from Mars.
Thank you so much for joining us, Caleb. We know that you have been watching these intense matches over here, but you also have a wonderful story of your own with your team. So we heard that you happen to be a Chairman's Award-winning team, and there's probably a lot of people out there that aren't too familiar with Chairman's Award. Can you tell us a little bit about what that award is and what you have to do to aspire for that?
So the Chairman's Award to us is really just going out and inspiring youth. It feels great to be a Chairman's team and pushing as hard as we can in our community. And if there are other teams that are trying to push Chairman's hard, it's really shoot for the youth. It's the younger ones, bringing the younger ones up into STEM.
That's really a powerful message, and I know that one of the ways that you have, kind of tried to encourage more younger students to join is by, some new methods of reaching them with. You have like coloring books, and you put together storybooks for the students. Is that right?
Yes, we actually started off with a storybook that was made by our founding members of our team, which actually turned into a coloring book that we now use for our younger students to kind of help get them involved in robotics. And even if they're just coloring a picture of our robot, they're still getting involved. It's still helping push them towards STEM, and they really enjoy it.
What a fantastic way to make sure that everybody can be involved. And I know that that's something that when I went through the first robotics competition phase in high school, I was not an engineer by any means, and it's great to know that there's a place for everybody, right? You don't have to be a mechanical engineer or a programmer to be on a team, right?
Exactly. We actually have a new structure we use where we have students who run all of their own sub-teams for things like business, grant writing, public speaking, everything. Far and wide for those students. It's really helpful for us, and it's really nice to have every student has a place on every team. That's really nice.
It looks like you guys are really involved in your community as well. I saw your robot actually running in a parade and kind of saying hi to some kids. Is that right?
Yes, that's actually Parade Bot. That's the one that our storybook is made after. It's one of our old robots that we have built for parades specifically. It can wave, high five. It's a great way for kids to get involved. They can drive it, and it's really a useful tool for us.
How has it been taking that kind of culture of community and bringing it here to the first Festival of Champions?
It's amazing. I don't have words for what's going on here. The atmosphere is amazing. The energy is great. It's a whole nother world.
There are a lot of people watching who have never been to a first competition before, people on Twitch or out there who are just learning. What would you like them to know and take away from watching this competition?
Really just get involved. That's the best thing you can do. Find a local team, start a team, FLL, like all of them. Just get involved. That's the best thing you can do.
Great. Well, I'm really excited to be involved, and I am also excited to watch more of the robotics competition. So let's throw it back now to Blair at the desk.
Thanks, Zach and Anna. Well, our robots are still being worked on the field. They've got 6 minutes between the last match and the start of the next one. And Houston was great if you were there. It was a little choppy the last time we saw it. We're going to try that Houston highlight reel again. The Houston Rap. All right, Houston was a blast. We'll be back there next year. You know, a lot goes on. It's a well-choreographed dance that happens so between matches. What are these teams going through right now?
Well, right now, these teams are letting their motors cool down. They're changing out their batteries. They're reassessing the strategy, and they're making sure that all of their components are still working.
And there's probably no one here that knows that better, who hears from the teams who want more time to get those robots ready than Frank Merrick. Frank's going to be interviewed right now. Let's send it over to Zach with Frank.
Thank you so much, Blair. I am joined by Frank, the director for First Robotics Competition. And I got to say, you know, when I was competing, the game was a lot different. I need to know what's going on. What are these robots doing? Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, what are they doing when they're resetting?
I sure can. So what they're doing right now is they want to make sure that their robots are in the absolute best shape to be ready for this next match. They're changing out batteries, they may be charging some pneumatics. And of course the field crew as well is gathering up all that fuel that spilled all over the field. They're replacing some tape. We just want to make sure both the robots and the field are in the best possible shape to play this 5th match. And it's really getting exciting. I just can't, it's great that we've gone 5. I'm so excited about that.
A lot of what the people at home might not see is behind the curtain. There's all of these stations where all of the tools and all of the pieces are for these robots, and they might not see the running around and fixing on the field. Can you tell us a little bit about the skills and the repairs that are being done?
So what you're seeing is each of the teams have their own pit crews, and the pit crews come out just like in a NASCAR race. They've got to be ready with their tools, they got to be ready with replacement parts, and as you said, behind the curtain here, we got some pits, just like you would see it in NASCAR. A lot of activity there, especially yesterday, getting these robots absolutely ready. But just, you need to know, you need to be able to fix things really quickly, and you need to be able to know what you're doing, and these teams certainly do.
What are some of the most common repairs that people would be making right now?
So they're doing things like charging up their batteries. They may be replacing like zip ties, that kind of thing, just making sure everything is tight and all the connections are tight and that they're ready to go.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm hearing that it's time for more robotics competition, and I'm so excited. Thank you so much for everything you're doing to make this possible, Frank.
Thank you.
Now it's time to head back to that desk, Blair.
All right, thanks, Anna and Zach. Thank you, Frank, for behind-the-scenes tour there. Field is not quite set, but we've shown the highlights from Houston. St. Louis was a real hoot, too. That was a blast. Let's roll the St. Louis highlight reel. All right, St. Louis, it was a hoot, wasn't it? It was our last year in St. Louis. That city embraced us really tightly. We had a great time there this year. Next year, we'll be in Detroit. And you can feel the love from Michigan in the room.
Absolutely, Blair. You know, it's going to be a real party.
And we'll be in Detroit and Houston next year. But before we finish this year out in our final official Steamworks match, we have another interview with Zach and Anna. Let's toss it over to them.
Thanks so much, Blair. I'm here with Neeraj from Team Data Force. Have you been having a good time today?
Oh yeah, it's been quite a time.
It looks like you already have some friends here taking pictures, cheering you on. Do you want to say anyone to your friends, either here or watching live?
I'd like to thank all my friends and family for showing me all the love and support and supporting me all the way through the robotics season.
Speaking of supporting all the way through, I know Team Data Force is kind of distinguished by having members that have been on for a long time. Tell us kind of about the history of your teammates.
Well, our team started in 2013, so we've been together for quite a while. I joined a couple years, like 4 years ago, and it's been quite an experience. We journeyed through many years. We learned many important things, and the most important thing is, win or lose, no matter what, you always want to remember gracious, professional, and cooperation in everything you do.
Wow, yeah, that's so important, and the people here definitely agree with you, and I'm interested if you can give us some insight. If someone's like, you know what, I really want to practice cooperation, I want to practice gracious professionalism, what does that look like? Where do they get started? How do they put that into practice?
Well, the way to spread gracious professionalism is basically trying to encourage people in your communities to engage in the word of first. So we host many summer classes and do many demos around our local neighborhoods and malls. So a lot of people are interested in this robotics program, and we create many teams over the summer. We currently created 4 to 5 teams in our local schools and our local neighborhood, and they'll be competing next season in the FLL.
That's awesome. First LEGO League teams that you guys started, what is it like to kind of try to pass your knowledge and enthusiasm on to them?
You know, it's more like passing our experience and knowledge. Like, it's fun to share your experience with others. That's one of the core values of FIRST, share your experience with others. And I think it's really fun to share our experiences. It's also a great experience. You can interact with others and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Neeraj, thank you so much for sharing your team's story, for sharing the message of FIRST, gracious professionalism and cooperation. That is something that, FIRST wouldn't exist without, so thank you very much. But I know that we gotta figure out what's going on with the FIRST robotics competition, so we're gonna throw it back to Blair at the FIRST robotics competition sports desk.
All right, thanks, guys. We are set. This is the final Steamworks match of the season. Let's tee it up. What do we need to see in this match?
It's do or die here, Blair. St. Louis really has it dialed in. They were running a clinic last match on how you should play Steamworks. The only way it looks like the red can pull it off is if they get that 4-rotor first. That's going to give them time to defend and throw off the double shooting of St. Louis.
It's how they started, the Festival Champions. The first 2 matches went to red, the next 2 went to blue. We are ready. We'll send it down to Henry, the MC, to start the match.
Who's ready for the final match? Pilots, ready for flight. Drivers, behind the lines. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Festival of Champions, match 5. This is what we've all been waiting for. Both alliances going crazy. We have a double rotor coming. Will it happen in time? They get it sped up. Whole lot of fuel going in for blue. Double rotor for red. The rotor's not spinning. And we move on. Oh, look at that shot from the Cheesy Poofs on Crush. There it is. Crush lost their gear. Nice delivery by the orangutans. Lightning Robotics making a delivery. Right behind them, Strike Force. Strike Force trying to ride the line, picking up the fuel. Over on the other side, full speed collision. As the orangutans drive it in, looks like 10-11, a sitting duck, probably waiting for a Robo Rio reset. There's a delivery by the Cheesy Poofs. And a response immediately by the Gray Bots, trying to keep it close. Red Alliance and Blue Alliance. Playing like their season depends on it because it does. Orangutans lose one. They're going to make another attempt. Long distance shots by Strike Force. And here comes Crush back to life in just the nick of time. Under a minute left. Poofs getting lined up. Here comes the fuel going high. A little bit of a miscue. Bot right behind him is Strike Force. Gray Bots lined up, unloading for red. More gears heading on. Looks like maybe some peg defense being played. No. Strike Force is in trouble. There it is. Crush is a duck by the airship. 20 seconds left. The ropes are down. More fuel for Blue. 3 Blue robots ready for flight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the official result and the winner of the Festival of Champions with 588 points, ladies and gentlemen, team number 2767 Strike Force, team number 254 the Choosy Poos, team number 862 Lightning Robotics, and team number 1676 the Pascack Pioneers. Congratulations.
As Woody likes to say, that was a big time.
You know, that at the first Robotics First Class Festival of Champions, it's fitting that we would see the world high score.
588 by the Blue Alliance, the St. Louis Alliance. Well done. And so the KPA.
It was insane, incredible. We saw 103 KPA, members of the 100 KPA club, to over 88 KPA by 973 alone.
973 putting up 80 is really remarkable. So a tough match. Crush died over here right underneath the blue airship.
Yeah, it looks like they died a couple of times. They actually spent a lot of the match sitting on the boiler side of the field. I don't know if they had comm issues or something else, but really a tough break for them.
And a great year. You can't take anything away from these 8 teams. They came here, they're having fun at the Festival of Champions, and after this, they actually get to go to Dean's house for lunch. So they are looking forward to that as well. It's been a fantastic year at Steamworks. Thanks for all the work, Ruth. Great job here at the desk. Thank you to the teams, our field resetters, our volunteers. An amazing job here at the Festival of Champions. To wrap it up, I'm going to send it over to Zach and Ann for a good night.
Guys, this has been such a fantastic day, Zach.
It's been really incredible to see all of these teams competing, whether it's the first tech challenge or the first robotics competition. There have been so many wonderful matches, and just congratulations to all of the competitors here.
It's been an honor to be at the first Festival of Champions. In watching this live has been mind-blowing. I felt myself just watching like this so many times. So if you want to know how to get involved, be sure to check out firstinspires.com. Yes.
I mean, there are so many different ways that you can get involved, whether you're a student and you want to figure out where their teams are in your region, if you are a mentor and you want to figure out how can you provide your time, your resources, or if you just want to volunteer at an event, go check out the website, or you can follow their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/firstinspires, for all of the upcoming information that you'll need. And also, they're on Twitter. You know that you're on Twitter all the time, at First Tweets. Check them out. Make sure that you stay up to date, because if you don't want to miss the next match like this, you're going to have to stay up to date.
I want to say thank you so much to all of the students who made this possible for us to watch and be inspired by and participate in, and for everyone at First who brought us out here and then also provides these opportunities for these students. I'm so inspired, and I just can't wait for the next things. Thank you, Zach, for being an awesome co-host.
Thank you so much, Anna. I am so glad that you got to share in this first Festival of Champions. Thank you so much to everybody, all of the sponsors, everybody who volunteered their time, all of the judges, the hosts, the commentators, everybody, and most importantly, the students. You guys did an amazing job.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for cheering. And for now, good night.
In a vast and mysterious jungle, treasures await those who have determination, skill, and the passion to explore. Your quest, should you choose to accept it, will lead you to recover lost relics and return them to their rightful place in history.
Gotta keep that fuel pristine for the Festival of Champions. Look how they transport that. Individual. Go, 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 go.